Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week of Wednesday Night Dash, presented by Stadium Scene TV. Tonight we have the Heartland 75 here at Kansas Motor Speedway. My name is Hunter Hughes, and I am with Trevor today. Trevor, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Hunter?
Pretty good. As we roll into tonight, let's take a quick look at Kansas Motor Speedway. It opened in 2001. It's a 1.5 mile cookie cutter. It's got 18 to 20 degrees of banking in the turns, 9 to 11 degrees of banking in the front, and 5 degrees of banking on the back straightaway. Tonight's rules is the 2-lap closed qualification with 75 laps and a competition caution at lap 35. Now we have some interesting points developing as we are in the final race of the season. It's kind of crazy to believe that we're already here. Last week, Colton Gardner secured the championship. And pretty much Brian McKinney, all he has to do is take the green flag and he will have second place clinched up. But the battle is on for third place and below. The three contenders, or actually the two contenders, is DJ Fluck and Dylan Behrens. Dylan is currently 3 points up, but he's had a rough couple of weeks since his second place finish at Phoenix. He's finished 7th or worse in every race since. So keep your eye on the number 1 and the number 88 tonight. Going further down the list, we have John Miles at 254, Ian Miller at 233. That'll be an interesting battle as well, between those two. Then we have Eric Richardson at 232, which Eric Richardson is not here tonight. Then we have Mark Willett at 205, Lane Snow at 199, and Fernando Takahashi rounding out your top 10 at 198. Then moving on, we have Jesse Fox, 195, Bill Mulfield, 117, Chris Fuge, 91, Tyler Vickery at 55, Andrew Hewitt, 30, Jackson Wall, 28, and Mark Vickers at 25. Real quick, before we get too far into this thing, let's give a shout out to our friends at the House of Hockey podcast. Tune in to House of Hockey Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern as Ray is once again joined by hockey play-by-play announcer Andy Zilich. The duo discuss announcing the ACHA National Championships, missing bobbleheads, the NHL trade deadline recap, and are the Detroit Red Wings cursed? Tune in to House of Hockey Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern right here on Stadium Scene TV. Now, this is the final race of the next gen season. It's been fun, but we will be kicking back up here in just about a month. Maybe even sooner than that. On April 17th, we will kick off the truck season. It is definitely going to be fun. We're going to kick things off at Pocono. Then we're going to head to Atlanta, then Daytona, then Gateway, then New Hampshire, Homestead, Miami, Sonoma, then Michigan, Charlotte, and Las Vegas. Next season in the trucks is going to be very, very fun. And I will be behind the wheel. And Trevor here will be taking over the broadcast booth for next season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun.
Yes, definitely. As the drivers are heading into qualification now, I just want to say, who do you got your money on for that battle for the final podium spot in the season? We got DJ Fluck, who's shown a very strong improvement throughout the season, and then we have Dylan Behrens, who also has shown, he's in his rookie season this year, but has shown very, very strong. as we head back out trackside, let's take a look who's out on track and let's see if anybody changed up their paint schemes. So we have John Miles in his usual Dr. Squatch number 54. Fernando Takahashi in his Extreme. DJ Fluck in the stadium scene number 88. Then Ian Miller in that colorful paint scheme. I'm not really sure what the sponsor is there, but definitely an iconic paint scheme for Ian Miller. Then we have Bill Mulfield running his usual Apex Racing number 911. And Colton Gardner, as always, in the French Broad Fire and Rescue number 40. Chris Fuge out on track in the Legion number 68. I really like the way that this paint scheme looks, especially under the lights here at Kansas. That red and black definitely pops. Brian McKinney looks like he's in a Kevin Harvick style Bush Light paint scheme. Well, Kevin Harvick, Ross Chastain, kind of the same. Watching as these drivers go and make their fast laps. Looks like we have 10 drivers here tonight. Like Brian McKinney is going to start his fast lap. Let's zoom out a bit here so you can kind of see. They are running. As of right now, Brian McKinney sits 10th. But remember, all he needs to do is just take the green flag and he will have second place clinched up. So he's really not stressed about his qualifying time whatsoever. But it looks like he's going to improve in his time. And that's going to bump him up to P7. With only about 20 seconds left on the clock here. It looks like we are about ready to go racing here at Kansas under the lights. All right, starting on pole is Colton Gardner with John Miles starting P2. Then we have Fernando Takahashi rolling in P3 and Ian Miller rolling up P4. We have DJ Fluck sitting at P5 and Lane Snow sitting at P6. Then we have Brian McKinney sitting P7 and Bill Mulfield sitting P8. Dylan Behrens comes up P9 and Chris Fuge comes up P10. And now that's the battle for third there with DJ Fluck and Dylan in the number 1. Let's quickly bring up DJ Fluck in the 88. Drag him in for a quick interview here. DJ, it's Hunter and Trevor in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. Good evening.
Good evening. You're rolling off P5 tonight, and your competition for P3 in the standings is P9. You feeling pretty confident tonight that you can secure that last place?
I'm feeling pretty good. This is one of my better tracks. I've had some good testing. I was P2 in practice earlier, so as long as I don't completely destroy my tires, or get caught up in anything, I should be hopefully hanging around the front all night, and that's my plan.
Well, definitely good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you very much.
Voice of DJ Fluck in that number 88 machine. Keep your eye on him tonight. Also keep your eye on the number 40 up front. This is going to be a fun race. Kansas is one of the best racetracks for this next Gen 7 Cup car. Take a good look at everybody's paint scheme. Down. The final race of Season 8 is about to kick off. Pace car getting ready to make the sharp left-hand turn onto the safety of pit road. It is almost time to go racing. Get on your feet, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a good time. Pace car is down and away. Long time, and the green flag is out. John Miles gets a good run on that outside and doesn't let Colton Gardner get away with it too quickly. They all still file in 2 by 2, 3 wide. There, Ian Miller gets shuffled out but is able to keep it straight as of right now. More 3 wide in the back of the pack. Chris Fuge on the outside making that top line work, and he gets into the wall and almost collects the 48 of Ian Miller, but he is able to keep it alive for right now. Looking back up front, it's Fernando Takahashi and Colton Gardner. The middle pack is where the battles are going to start happening. Keep your eye on that number 1. He sends it in the bottom. Gonna get to the back bumper of the 88. This is the fight for the final podium spot in the championship here. Just behind them, Brian McKinney, Ian Miller, Bill Mulfield, Chris Fuge. Side by side for position 8 and position 9. We see Chris Fuge look into the inside of the number 1 machine. Where the run's gonna come from. Now Chris Fuge looking to the outside of Dylan Behrens in the number 1. We're already 5 laps down in this thing, and the battle for 6th place could not get any better, as they're 3 wide going down the back straightaway now. We're 3 wide even. The number 1 in the middle is able to get a good run, but Ian Miller looking underneath the number 1. Doesn't look like that number 1 car can wrap the bottom as good as the number 48 can right now. Moving back up, DJ looking to pass the number 5 of Lane Snow. Lane Snow's looking to possibly get back around the 88. He throws it in kind of deep, and that forces DJ to check up just a little bit. He's going to fall back to 5th place. Now the battle for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. So tight here. These 4 cars. The 8 car gives a little bit of a bump to the 68, pushing him up into the wall, but he is able to keep it together. Looking back up front, the battle for the lead, Fernando Takahashi and Colton Gardner. Fernando starting to put the pressure on the 40. Oh. As it looks like the 68 and the 8 get together. Not really sure what happened there as he just goes and pulls off the track. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if we can figure out what happened there real quick. Let's see if we can do this real fast because there is some good racing happening all over the racetrack. Oh, it looks like the 68 just got tight and actually just got a bit of a tap from the 8. And they just stayed together. And that's all she wrote. As the number 8 is coming down pit road now. But the battle is on for the lead. But the battle is also on for position 4. DJ Fluck looking to the inside of Lane Snow. Is able to get clear. Is he able to put a bit of a gap on that number 5 now? As the number 5 is going to try the crossover move. And gets into him. The number 5 and the number 88 hard into the outside wall. Looks like Ian Miller got a piece of that. Dylan Barron's got a piece of that as well. DJ Flux still just sitting on the track and is going to take the tow back to pit road. What an unfortunate incident. Let's go back and check that out as well. Looks like let's slow it down for a second. So the number 5 tries the crossover move, and it looks like he honestly gets a little bit. No, he actually comes back up the track as if DJ is not there, gets into the side of DJ. DJ does a good job of trying to save it, but gets into the back quarter panel of the 5, sends the 5 careening into that outside wall. Hard lick for the 5. Look at this number 1. Oh my goodness, barely missed it.
It also allowed the number 1 to get up to P4 after starting 9th. He's up 5 positions already.
Yeah, so after those couple of incidents, the number 1 is your highest mover as of right now. But the battle for the lead is raging on ever stronger. Only 1/10 of a second between the number 99 and the number 40. As the number 99 is going to look to the inside of the 40. And he's there. The number 99 squeezing the 40 just a bit, but he is able to keep it clean. Both of these drivers are really good at what they do, and they're both really good at keeping the race clean. Good to see DJ Fluck, Lane Snow, and Chris Fuge all back out on the racetrack. They're all a handful of laps down, but they are all back racing once again.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for DJ Fluck. I thought he had a chance at a podium tonight.
Yeah, I think he had the speed to. But once you're 3 laps down, with only there being 1 competition yellow, there's just no way to make up 3 laps. Maybe if he was 1 lap down, he could just take a wave around or fight for a lucky dog, but once you're 3 laps down, there's just really nothing you can do.
Yeah, we only have 6 cars on lead lap still. And then McKinney in the number 8 is 2 laps down. He's the highest car any laps down.
Unless the number 1 gets into an accident and has to call a tow, I think Dylan Behrens pretty much has P3 locked up. As the drives are starting to spread out just a bit. Number 1 of Dylan Behrens and the number 48 of Ian Miller. Who Ian Miller was able to avoid that mess by just inches, it looked like. He lives to fight another day. You see the 8 car on fresher tires. He is a lap down, but he is trying to be very aggressive to try and maybe get one of his laps back naturally. Kind of races the 99 Fernando Takahashi very tight.
That's a smart move because that'll only put him a lap down, which will give him the lucky dog in once the competition yellow comes out.
Yeah, but we still have 25 laps until our competition yellow. So we still have quite a ways to go. So he doesn't want to burn his stuff up too quick. He's one of the fastest cars on track right now, but he doesn't want to put all of his eggs into his basket right here. Actually, there's only about 15 laps to go. The competition caution's at lap 35. So now the question sits, how hard does Brian McKinney push to get around Colton Gardner? And does Colton Gardner defend this move at all? Or does he just let him by? Right now, Ian Miller and Dylan Behrens in the number 1 are currently trading spots back and forth. Looks like they settled it out. I want to keep an eye on Brian McKinney as he's looking to get around the leader, Colton Gardner, now. But Colton Gardner's not just giving him the spot. Colton Gardner's racing him for it. So if Brian McKinney can get clear... Oh, he goes to the apron, but his car gets kind of unsettled down there. Brian McKinney gets around Colton Gardner now.
That's allowed the 99 to catch up by about 0.4 of a second through all that.
Yeah, now the 99 and the 40 back in this battle. Maybe Colton Gardner wasn't too pleased with how hard the 8 was racing him for that. What was the 99 taps the wall just a little bit, but doesn't hurt him too bad. The leader, Colton Gardner, trying to make it almost a perfect season. Has won every race this season except for the Daytona race. And was it Daytona or was it Talladega? I don't. No, it was Talladega. So the only two races that Colton Gardner has not won this season was Talladega, a super speedway, and Charlotte Roval, a road course. And super speedways are unpredictable, and Colton Gardner was close to winning that race, but got an unfortunate bump by John Miles on the final turn, and Colton Gardner's not the most comfortable of running road courses, and Fernando Takahashi actually won that Charlotte Roval race, which is Fernando's one and only win in this season. Drivers just kind of riding around now, just waiting for that lap 35 caution. They can get some 4 fresh sticker tires. They can put the hammer down. It's going to be interesting to see a couple of battles develop. You see, let's go back. DJ Fluck on newer tires. He's running some pretty consistent lap times. And look who's right behind him, the number 5 of Lane Snow. Just wonder if there's any little bit of bad blood right now between the number 5 and the number 88. Not sure if the number 5 will, or the DJ Fluck will just give him a little bit of a door, because we'll see. But all 3 of these drivers right here are currently racing for position. All 3 of them are 3 laps down. So all 3 of these drivers are racing for position. Does suck for DJ, I feel for DJ Fluck though. He was running 4th place and had a legit fast car. Sometimes the cards just don't fall your way. As Chris Fuge is up and into the wall multiple times.
Looks like the 911 car has gone a lap down, so that means that McKinney will not get the lucky dog when the caution comes out.
Yeah, that's right. The battle for the lucky dog spot, which Brian McKinney and Bill Mulfield are nowhere close to each other on track. Brian McKinney is actually closer to lapping or sorry, Bill Mulfield's closer to lapping Brian McKinney himself.
It's unfortunate for McKinney, as got in an early incident and still worked his way up to be a lap down.
Which I would imagine Brian McKinney's probably going to take the wave around, and then I actually imagine most of these drivers taking the wave around. Or maybe not. Well, I guess we'll just have to see. That'll be quite the strategy call. Because maybe if you hold that wave around spot, maybe you'll just put yourself another lap ahead of the rest of your competition. You might be on slightly older tires, but you'll be a lap up. As all the drivers start to catch the field, Bill Mulfield comes in very hot.
Yeah, dominating stage there by Gardner. Started on pole and hasn't looked back since.
It's going to be interesting if Fernando Takahashi wants to press the issue more in this second half. You see the whole field check up. Looks like Bill Mulfield's going to take the lucky dog spot right now, as the rest of the drivers are all coming down pit road. So none of the other drivers are taking the wave around. But here's where it's going to get interesting as they enter Gardner P1, Takahashi P2, John Miles P3, Ian Miller P4, Dylan Behrens P5. Let's see if anybody makes any bold calls on pit road. Looks like one of those drivers slid through his box by a long shot. That may have been the 5 of John Miles. Or Lane Snow, sorry. Top 3 getaway scot-free. And on pit road here. Ian Miller, Lane Snow, and Chris Fuge. And look, DJ Fluck took the wave around on that pit stop. So DJ Fluck is now 2 laps down, while the rest of his competition is 3 laps down. As both Brian McKinney and DJ Fluck are... look, Dylan Behrens was still sitting... That was Dylan that slid through his box by a while. We see Bill Mulfield and Brian McKinney come down pit road this time. DJ Fluck is still out on the racetrack. So DJ Fluck did not pit. Now this is the thing that's interesting. Did he save his tires enough? Well, he actually is on newer tires than everybody because he took the tow, got new tires, got a fast repair. So DJ Fluck might be good until the end of this race on fuel. Let's just hope that he saved his tires enough throughout that first or the second half of that first run. Brian McKinney 1 lap down, DJ Fluck 2 laps down, Lane Snow 3, and Chris Fuge 3 laps down. The rest of the field still on the lead lap. You should be getting the 1 to go here. Pace car's lights go out, and we're going to watch DJ Fluck take that wave around. Go all the way around the track to hopefully catch back up. Got a lot of work to do. Get there with... Get back up to our leaders. Gardner, Takahashi, Barron, John Miles, then Bill Mulfield, Ian Miller. And the rest of them are single file back there.
Fortunate wave round for DJ Fluck, but unfortunately, still P8. He's gonna have to rely on a few people crashing out here if he wants to gain any more positions.
All right, under the control of Colton Gardner once again. Fernando Takahashi keeping dead even. Colton Gardner gets a really good jump on the field as we see the number 1 and the 54 side by side.
Yeah, the number 1 car is at a pretty good race so far. I'd like to see him finish in a podium position.
And that number...
Here's Miles on the outside.
And that number 1 looks fast right now. Putting the pressure on the 99 of Fernando Takahashi. These top 2 have not had any pressure from anybody else all race so far, but Dylan Behrens and the number 1 keeping that pressure on.
And we do still have 35 laps left, so he's gotta make sure not to push too hard yet. Use up all of his tires.
Exactly. Speaking of pushing too hard, Fernando Takahashi within a 10th of your leader, Colton Gardner. When is the move? When is the time to make the move for the lead? And here he goes to the inside of Colton Gardner. Fernando Takahashi isn't going to have the momentum. And they're still going to be side by side as they enter turn 3. Fernando's still got the nose there. Has to check up just a tad bit, but as they come out of turn 4, that number 1 is right there. Dylan Behrens looking to the outside of Fernando Takahashi. Oh, is almost going to get into him. But it's still going to be there. These 3 cars. It's not going to be clear. He's sticking. Now, if you remember last week, Fernando Takahashi kind of pulled the same move to the number 1 at Dover, and they wrecked because of it. So these 2 drivers have gotten into each other before, but Dylan Behrens looking really, really fast right now, putting the pressure on your leader, Colton Gardner.
I think he's pushing a little bit too much too soon for right now.
Yeah, definitely. We still have 30 laps to go. That is a long time here at Kansas.
Miles in the 54 is caught up to this lead pack.
I was just about to say, all this battling between the top 3 has allowed the 54 to get right within half a second. I wish these cameras were just slightly farther out. But the number 1 putting insane pressure on the 40. And he's going to go for the lead here and is going to lead his first lap. And is actually going to get clear of the 40. And that's going to open the door for the number 99 once again.
You know, I believe that's the first lead change of the night, as the 40's been pretty dominant so far these first almost 50 laps.
Yeah, but Colton Gardner if anyone is good at saving tires, it is Colton Gardner. So we'll just see how long can the number one hold this lead. Did he burn his stuff up too quickly, or is he doing exactly what he needs to do to win this race? Look at John Miles there in 0.2 of a second. I wonder if the number one of Dylan Barons caught Colton Gardner and Fernando Takahashi off guard because they didn't have any real stress the first half. And now that the pressure was on, it kind of caught them sleeping a little bit. These two are driving just as hard as ever. You can already see the gap to the lead shrinking as the number one gets into the wall just a bit. They keep it going. He's not able to drive away, and it looks like the 40 and the 99 are getting back in the groove.
And here comes the 911 car looking for, I think that was the 911 car.
Oh, that's
a lap car.
Actually Brian McKinney, who is a lap down. Just imagine if Brian McKinney was not a lap down right now. He would be as much in the battle as any of these other drivers. Brian McKinney currently sitting P7, but is P5 in our hearts. Go back out to the chopper cam real quick just to see this gap of these 5 or 6 cars.
The 99 car just can't really seem to find a way to get around the 40.
The 40 doing a good job of aero blocking, putting that dirty air where he needs to be. And the 99 actually checked up a little bit there entering the corner, and that seemed to catch the 54 off guard. And he kind of got into the wall a little bit, but no real damage. We can see 7 out of the 10 cars in one frame right now. I wish everybody was on the lead lap because this would be one heck of a race. Number one into the wall again. Off of turn 2. For putting on one heck of a show to close out season 8. The 54 looks to the inside of the 99. 99 pushes tight, it looks like. But he's going to have the run down the back straightaway. This might be the move for position 3. 54 is still there. Not clear yet. It goes all the way down to the grass, which is legal here at Kansas because there's only one solid white line. You can use any bit of the racetrack that you want. The gap is starting to grow between the number 1 and the number 40. So now that just makes me wonder, was the number 1 doing something correct? And did he get in the head of Colton Gardner and Fernando Takahashi and made them use their stuff harder than they wanted to? Colton Gardner with
40 with a bit of a run.
with a big run, but isn't able to take it anywhere.
'54 is falling back a little bit. Looks like he might have used up too much of his tires trying to get around the 99 for P3.
$18 laps to go here. When does it become time to put the hammer down and try to take the lead or maintain the lead if you're Dylan Behrens in the number 1? Colton Gardner into the wall hard. Allows Fernando Takahashi to get to his inside and is going to have the advantage entering the corner. But Fernando slides up very tight. Wow. Almost gets into the back of Colton Gardner. But what that has done is allowed Dylan Behrens in the number 1 to get to almost a half a second lead over another all.
I think it's 15 to go that time across the line.
This race winding down quickly. What a interesting turn of events in the second half of the race. Colton Gardner's not done yet. Neither is Fernando Takahashi. All 3 cars within a half second of each other. Behrens into the wall once again. Fernando Takahashi looks like he's gonna get a piece of the wall.
I believe the 48 of Miller all the way back in P6 is looking for a move in the 911 car.
Oh yeah, for position 5, gonna take it down on the inside. Is gonna get clear. Does Bill Mulfield have anything for him? At the moment, it doesn't look like it.
I think Miller's quite a bit faster. Last time I checked, he was like 4 seconds behind him or something.
Yeah. Precinct over half a second now. Our eyes up. Run. I was just gonna say, the number 54 is still within 0.8 of a second. So if something happens between these top 3, the number 54 is right there to take advantage of it.
Yeah, meanwhile, all the way back in 10th, DJ Fluck is gone 4 laps down.
I noticed he made a pit stop couple laps ago. Let's take a ride inside with Fernando Takahashi for a couple laps. Just hear how he gets around Kansas Speedway.
a big run here.
Yeah, it looks like the 40 of Colton Gardner had to check up there just a tad bit. Not sure if he got a snap loose or if he... Only 8 laps to go here at Kansas. Look at how high these drivers are driving it into the corners. They're basically getting inches from the wall. Battle is on. Now, Fernando Takahashi looking for an opportunity to get around the 40 of Colton Gardner. But the 40 is also looking for an opportunity on the number 1. 99 enters really high, taps the wall. Number 1 taps the wall. Only 6 laps to go. It is getting down to the wire. Oh, big hit. Big hit to the wall by the number 1, but huge run by the 99 is going to send it to the inside. Is he going to be able to make it stick? As of right now, it doesn't look like it, but he is still going to be there. Not sure where he just got that random boost of speed, but you love to see it.
Our top 3 separated by just half a second here as we come into 4 laps to go. Oh, the 1 into the wall again.
Under the 1 wall again. Fernando Takahashi going to make it 3 wide. Just for a moment. As Colton Gardner gets back to the lead. Looks like the number 1 is starting to fall off hard as we get to the final laps of this race. So he's going to get into the wall once again. That's going to open the door for the 99. The 99 is going to get there.
Just 3 laps to go now.
3 laps to go. Good crossover move by the number 1. Almost got to the back bumper of the 99, but isn't going to be able to get there just yet. Amazing racing by these 3 drivers here tonight. Does Dylan Behrens have anything else left in the tank for Fernando Takahashi? And it doesn't look like it's so. But does Fernando Takahashi have anything else for Colton Gardner? With the gap at about 0.6 of a second now. 0.7, the gap increasing ever farther. Colton Gardner is going to come around and take the white flag presented by Stadium Scene TV.
Great final 2 or 3 laps here by that number 40. Went from almost back down into 3rd to leading by almost a second.
That's pacing yourself through and through. As Colton Gardner comes off of turn 4. Colton Gardner wins at Kansas. Fernando Takahashi, P2. Dylan Behrens, P3. John Miles, P4. Ian Miller, P5. Bill Mulfield, P6. Good run for him tonight. Brian McKinney P7, Lane Snow P8, DJ Fluck P9, and Chris Fuge P10. What a heck of a closer for season 8. Number 1 and the number 40 given him a congratulatory bump.
And Dylan Behrens obviously would have liked to have won that race after leading majority of stage 2, but he still has to be happy with that result after starting in 9th place to start this race.
And Colton Gardner, your season 8 champion and race winner tonight, is going to burn it down. All right, let's go ahead, get some interviews rolling. See who we can drag up into here. We can bring in our 3.
1 second.
All right, we'll get things started here real quick with the number 1 of Dylan Behrens. Dylan, you had it until the very end. Also, by the way, excellent racing by all 3 of you guys. But Dylan, tell me about your night. You started kind of in the back, but was able to make up the ground to finish P3.
Yeah, starting P9 was definitely not the way I wanted to start the race. But I knew I had a points race today because me and DJ were battling for 3rd in the points, so I knew I just had to run a smart race and run a clean race. And then the second segment, I just had a lot of speed and I got out front, and Colin and Fernando were being on my back bumper the whole time, and I finally just gave it too much gas out of turn 4 and I hit the wall, and that was it for me. So I just hung on to finish 3rd place. But it was great to race with Colin and Fernando tonight again. We had 2 great weeks of battling side by side, 3 of us. So it's a pleasure to race with these guys.
It's definitely a pleasure indeed. Well, you end off the season on a high note. P3 tonight, P3 in the standings. Good job all around this season.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, next we have Fernando Takahashi coming home P2. Fernando was on the back bumper of Colton Gardner pretty much the whole race, from throughout the first stage, throughout the second stage, and all the way until the end. Fernando, tell me about your night.
I'm surprised. Still learning this track, still learning the crafts of oval racing, but it was definitely fun pursuing Colt the whole night. I would suggest he changes the logos or something. I'm getting bored and looking the same thing, lap over lap, uh, race over race. But great race from Dylan and then and the entire field. Actually, I don't think we had a caution tonight, so that was awesome. Except for of course the competition caution, but it was amazing, amazing group of guys here, amazing organization from FR Racing and the broadcast, of course, from Stadium Scene. So thank you guys for everything you did this season. It was great. A lot of learning from me. Still getting used to oval racing. But thank you, and thank you, Bill, for letting me represent Muffield Motorsports here with you guys tonight. And thank you to my family, God, and everyone that supports me every day.
Thank you for your amazing driving talent, both on the road course and the ovals. If you had told me that you were not an oval person, I wouldn't have believed you. You showed excellent speed throughout this whole. So just all around good job as well to you.
No, thank you. Yeah, I'm learning, getting tips and tricks here and there with Bill, Colt, and other former WJM drivers that used to drive in the ovals all the time. So trying to learn the craft here, but it's definitely fun.
Oh, well, Thank you, Fernando, as always.
Congratulations, Colt, and for the title as well. Great driving the whole season, man.
All right, and your season 8 champion, your race winner tonight, Colton Gardner, led every lap the first stage, led most of the second stage. Colton, tell me about your night.
It was a lot of fun. I love repping the top here at Kansas. It was great racing from everybody. Fernando, Dylan, John, everybody put on one heck of a show tonight. It was a lot of fun. Car ran tight most of the night. So it was just a big challenge to manage that right front, making sure you didn't burn it up and get it too hot. That's why running the bottom. You wanted to minimize that a little bit, but it was one heck of a race. That second half was probably some of the best racing I've been a part of.
Absolutely. At a couple points there, you guys were 3 wide racing for the lead. I thought we were about to have another Atlanta moment because you guys were putting everything out there for the final race of the season. And congratulations to all 3 of you guys, but especially congratulations to Colton. Won every race this season except for 2, and those 2 were a road course and a super speedway. Like unbelievable driving talent from that number 40 machine, as always.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
And I know, Colton, as always, I'll leave you this time to thank some people.
Alrighty. Yeah, I just first off, I want to dedicate the championship to my mother. We've been through a lot over the last year, and I hope her being able to watch this since I've come back last season has been able to take her mind off of things. Really, my whole family, honestly. Everybody's been so super supportive of me doing this, and I hope I can make everybody happy by doing this. And I want to thank French Broadfire and Rescue. That sponsorship comes through from my brother. He's been a real big supporter so far, and it's been really cool to be able to support him and what he does. I want to thank Jiffy Lube. That comes through with my pastor. He he's a big part of this as well. He's done a great job of supporting, and it's been awesome to have support from them. I want to thank Carolina Legion. They're also on the hood of the 68 as well. That comes through Chris, and they've been my longest sponsor that I've had in Wednesday Night Dash. They were on the truck for my first win in this league and at Darlington. I want to thank Castle Garen Creations, Good Humor, Clean Inspiration, Moza, Dubby. I just want to thank everybody for everything that they do. I want to thank DJ and Eric for putting on this league. It is so much fun to be able to hop in a rig every Wednesday night and just forget the troubles of the world and clear your head a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. But as you mentioned that, I just want to jump in and say, yeah, big preach to DJ Eric and all the people behind the scenes that put this thing on every single week. We've got such a good, strong group of people here. It's definitely fun to race with and be a part of this experience. But real quick, I want to throw the table over to DJ as he has some information about next season.
Oh yes, great job. Congratulations to everyone. Of course, Colton, back to back in the Cup Series championship. So, as you've seen in the lead up to this, we're going to take a couple weeks off to kind of recharge, get our new designs ready to go. And in April 17th at Pocono, we're going to be back in the trucks for the first time since summer of 2022. So really excited to get back in the trucks. And another announcement, which I don't know if you've announced this, Hunter, yet or not, but Hunter will be stepping down in the booth after this season and returning to the car, or I guess the truck in this case. So I want to say, Hunter, thank you for these last 2 seasons. You've done a phenomenal job calling this on a week-to-week basis, and working with my chicken scratch notes I send you on a weekly basis. But also, too, we want to introduce Trevor, who I believe is here tonight. Trevor?
Yeah, I'm here.
Trevor, sorry, I should have been more prepared. Is it Kratzer? Kratzer. Okay, so Trevor, who is hanging out here, is the new voice of Wednesday Night Dash starting in April. So, Trevor, welcome to the group, welcome to the family. We're excited to have you, and you got a pretty good picture the last couple of weeks of what this league does on a weekly basis, and we're happy to have you here.
Yeah, thanks. Also, the mic I'll be using sounds better than this. I just was rearranging things and couldn't get it set up.
No worries. We're excited to have you, and we're gonna get to work here and put on another good season with the trucks. And again, just real quick to wrap up, thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm stunned beyond belief the amount of people that tune in to watch this on a weekly basis. When Eric and I started this kind of concept of just kind of a one-on-one thing that him and I did, and we're like, this concept could work as a league. I mean, some people are like, no, it can't. Like, one caution, you're gonna have a crash fest, and when you have the right drivers, which we absolutely do, you don't. We have a very respectful group that is building and getting better on a weekly basis, and I think we have a really phenomenal product, and I want to thank everybody out there, from the people who joined us at the very beginning to the guys who came in this season, and we're again happy to have you, and we're hoping to keep working with you in the truck series. So I think I've talked enough, so I'll throw it back over to you, Hunter, and you can do what you need to.
All right, so I'll rein us back down. Real quick, let's just take another quick peek at that schedule. April 17th, Pocono Raceway in the trucks. It's gonna be fun. Stadiumscene.com. Yeah, it'll be fun. Real quick, Stefan, so I can close you all out. My name is Hunter Hughes. It's been a real blast to be the broadcaster these past 2 seasons, and I might be back in the booth. You never know. I just got the itch to drive again. Might be coming back to the booth. Also really love doing this. It's fun to bounce back and forth. Tried my hand at this at the end of the last Next Gen season with Eli, and then I caught a love for it immediately. But I'll be back in the seat next time, April 17th. But that's it for me. I hope you all have a good rest of your night. Goodbye.